Today, we are talking about the three superpowers of gratitude. So, most people know when you start with mindset work or any of those energy shifting tools, you always start with gratitude. And most people or most coaches will tell you that you can have a list of things that you're grateful for and just keep that as a running total, which is totally true. Some people have a practice of always writing 3 to 5 things down each night for the things that they are grateful for. And it's a great practice. And I will do it for a while and then I kind of forget. And so here's a good reminder for all of us to kind of re up. It's also a great way when you are struggling just a bit to shift your energy really quickly, is to tap into the things that you are super grateful for. A. Milne of the Winnie the Pooh series said, Piglet noticed that even though he had a very small heart, he could hold a rather large amount of gratitude. And I think that's just such a cute little quote there. So we want to have lots and lots of gratitude, even though we might have a little bit of a small heart when we're on some days, right? So, what are the three superpowers of gratitude? The first one is that will rewire your brain, which I think is super, super cool. The second is that it will lower your cortisol levels. The third is that it gives you feelings of joy, peace, and contentment. And I know that with our world right now, there's just a lot going on. And so sometimes it's hard to feel that peace and contentment. So, with it rewiring our brain, gratitude helps that neuroplasticity to make connections with good things that have happened, good things that we've already received, blessings that were received, whatever it is that we're finding to be grateful for. It helps to rewire those connections that say, hey, this is a good day. We have good things coming our way. And it helps us to get forward thinking and looking at those things instead of all the things of the past that have fallen apart. The other piece to this that I absolutely love, and especially for women who are so, so busy, is that it lowers cortisol levels. So, cortisol is known as the death hormone, and it will spike when we are under a lot of stress, and it causes a lot of havoc in our body. You cannot have cortisol and then feel peace at the same time. You just can't have that in your brain. And so I love that having gratitude will automatically bring those cortisol levels down. And that is a super, super cool power. The next thing is that it can help us to feel peace and joy. And like I said earlier, we have so many things vying for our time and our attention. And some of those things keep us in crazy mode and they get our brains racing and they cause anxiety. And so when we can have a moment to look at the things that we're grateful for, to write them down, to list them in our phone, to speak them out loud, it gets us back to remembering that what we have is already enough and that we don't need to keep chasing the next big thing. Can we have the next big thing? Sure. But we can also have gratitude for what we already have. So I feel like those are some really important things. We want to have good neuroplasticity wires in our brain where there are those good connections showing us the things that are really good in our life. We want to have lower cortisol so that we will last longer, we will have better health. Cortisol can completely blow out your adrenal glands. And so for women, that's super important. We are not created to be men, we are created to be women. Men get a shot of testosterone every morning, and that keeps them going. Women don't get that. We have ebbs and flows of hormones coming and going throughout a whole monthly cycle. And so some days we feel really great, but we're still expected to do everything on the days where we don't feel really great. And that's what we end up using cortisol to do, is to get us to do that because it's kind of like the shot of testosterone for us. But really, what happens in the long run is that if we continue to have those hits of dopamine and raise that cortisol level, then our adrenal glands can blow out and we can end up with chronic fatigue. So it really is a super important piece if you can get cortisol levels down. I hope this has been helpful. If you have enjoyed it, please like, subscribe, and share to anybody you think could be benefiting from it. I want you just to remember that you are important, you are loved, and you deserve to be empowered. You can also grab my free gratitude journal by going to toolstoempower.com. I'll put the link below.